Ooh-la! Ooh-la! Welcome to Speculation Sunday on a Monday. Late night Monday. Woo!
It's like bonfire time right here.
I know, but it's just the way life works sometimes. But thank you everybody for joining us on this beautiful Monday. Monday Night Football just ended. What a game! It was terrible, and then somehow got good. But welcome. We got a lot to talk about. Horror Nights kicked off. Some Disney stuff I really want to talk about with Danny. But most importantly, thank you guys all for joining. I really want to do like a Q&A for the most part.
It's a Q&A kind of day.
Yeah, Q&A type of day for sure. What's up, B-Dog? Fire, Speculation Sunday on a Monday. We got Sean. What's up, Sean? It's late, man. Thank you for joining us. Midnight out there in Florida. Yeah, Caleb Williams is terrible. It's hard to watch, man. But maybe the J.J. McCarthy guy, the quarterback for the Minnesota, is good. All right, we got Just Ask Danny in the house. Danny, how are you doing, man? How are you doing?
Good. I didn't get a chance to go to the parks this weekend, but I'm hoping maybe I can do it this week. Kind of just do some more. I kind of want to go to Knott's before the kickoff of Scary Farm. I know you went today. Is that video up yet? Can people watch the walkthrough of the tribute store?
No, I'll post it probably tomorrow morning. I had a chance to go to the tribute store for Knott's Scary Farm, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed my experience. I'm glad I waited until now.
Did they have the merch for the new mazes?
Yes, they did. They did. The zoo, Mary, very underwhelming. I'll tell you that much. But they have.
Well, I mean, it's better to be underwhelming than last year when there was like nothing for widows. Remember?
It's very true. Very true. I feel like Widows might have got something new. I can't remember. I just looked at a lot of merch. It's a lot to absorb. Let me see. It's late for B is tired school teachers. Can you please talk Disney first? We definitely can. Danny, anything on Disneyland end that you would like to bring up?
I would like to bring up that article that you sent me earlier from Disneyland News Today. And this has kind of been a trend we've been seeing at Disneyland lately. And I talked a little bit about it with Mondo today. I actually talked about it too with my friend David Vaughn. And just to kind of weigh in on all perspectives on it, we're seeing a lot of changes for like some of the different entrances to the theme parks. And we're not sure if necessarily maybe this is just a reallocation of funds, right? We're seeing heavy turbocharging, like Josh Tomorrow said, of all these projects. I mean, the latest photos that Mondo was showing today of Avengers Campus is truly remarkable, just how fast they're moving. But this was the next revelation here. Downtown Disney Security Plaza, at least according to Disneyland News Today, is going to be closed and is being demolished. Now, when this originally got a construction wall and they finally tore out the temporary tents with Costco folding tables that we know and love, we were so excited that we were going to get something really cool and special like they built over right next door on the other side, facing the Simba parking lot, which was a beautiful entrance to downtown Disney that matches the mid-century modern vibe of not only the Disneyland Hotel, but the new west end of downtown Disney. And we were so excited. We were going to get another permanent security checkpoint that would really complement such a beautiful building like Din Tai Fung and that whole new area of downtown Disney. And then they just put up this like tent that looked exactly like what was there before with like a metal fence. And it seemed so weird. And we were like, well, that's it. And it just seems weird to me to have spent the time to lay all the cement, build this temporary entrance to downtown, or to take out the temporary, which was not so temporary because it had been there for freaking so many years, and then putting in this permanent version, but then now they're just tearing it out again. And like, what are we doing here? Are we going to have an entrance here? Are we going to redo something different? Like, why did they waste the money to do this version when they could have just spent the money to make the better version? If that's what they're doing, I don't even know what they're doing, to be honest. I don't. I think it's, but
The
there's some
there's
people
a
that say,
picture from Parks and Cons, Danny. You could see there's heavy machinery already right here on the left.
yeah, there's
You
some
see?
people that are posting on X saying that this is only temporary closed for a few months while they're working on infrastructure underneath the ground. And then there's outlets like Disneyland News Today that are sharing information saying that it's being demolished. And so like I don't even know. Like I don't know if anyone knows specifically. I'm like I need to check Theme Park IQ for all his when he does this little like patent, scoping and stuff like that. But
I'm shocked there wasn't a permit like out there for this. You know what I mean?
they might have been. They might have been. What David's perspective was when we were talking about it, Mondo, was this is if you pull up really old concept art of what could be when Disneyland Forward was being, trying to be approved, they weren't showing us concrete plans for those spaces, but they were more mere just showing the city and the council what could be placed in these areas if it was to be approved to be a theme park space. And in those original concept arts for Disneyland Forward, we saw that space right there, kind of at the end of downtown Disney, become transformed into truly like a new hub for Disneyland that's almost the same vibe as the Esplanade, but on the west end of downtown Disney versus the other side. And so we saw, and you pointed this out a really long time ago when we talked about that space, how it looked like it's down the other side. That's the entrance for the cars right there to the right, to the right side. That's where we're at right there. So you pointed out a while ago that
Oh,
look
right there. I got it
yeah,
confused. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you pointed out a while ago that looks like an entrance to Disneyland and California Adventure respectively on either side, facing each other, but closer to the Disneyland hotel. Because again, these are supposedly going to be expansions to the parks on either side. So this is technically Disneyland on the right, and then technically Disney California Adventure on the left. So, and what looks like, smaller versions of the turnstiles on either side would be right there too. So maybe what David was saying, Mondo, is like this is big picture, and they're like laying infrastructure for things like that may need this in the future if they want to build actual entrances to the parks in these spaces in the future.
What do you think about that security line? So convenient for our Disneyland hotel. It makes it the entrance closer walk to the monorail. Do you think Disneyland is like go to the beginning of downtown Disney? You know what I mean? That
Yeah, it could
that
be.
new one.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a plethora of things, right? We saw the closure of the private entrance to the Pixar Place Hotel for downtown Disney or for California Adventure, and they just spent tons of money redoing that with brand new turnstiles, only to open it up and then close it a few weeks later, say they're permanently shutting it down. And then ending early entry into the theme parks, and now closing this entrance. Like it could be something as simple as they need to cut back on labor, and this is a way for them to do it, because they are allocating this money, they are allocating this funds to turbocharge these projects, and they are staying true to that. Right, we're moving so quickly on Avengers Campus, on some of the photos you shared today on X, just how quickly construction's going on Avengers Campus. It's really something we haven't seen in Disneyland Resort in a really long time. And I think they know too that like all these projects are really key, right? Like Avengers Campus, they want to get this done and completed, and it's important to them, right? And so is the Coco attraction, extremely important to them. The audience that comes to Disneyland will resonate really well with that. It could be a huge crowd draw for them, a seasonal draw. They use that space near that attraction as the Plaza de la Familia, so they can always tie that all in together with the whole space and really make that like almost a mini land for Coco. So there's a lot of potential for them to have new areas of opportunity to bring them in. So I know that these are important to them. The only thing, we're seeing a lot of cuts from Disney, right? We're cutting
Yeah.
this entrance here for labor. We're cutting the hotel early entrance because of labor. We're cutting, there's hiring freezes, and all this kind of stuff. And I start to get worried
The
when I
star
see,
of Edger Camp is gone.
yeah, I
I'm
start to
not
get
gonna run
worried when
during Christmas. Gone. Fantastic not doing pyro for whatever reason. Gone. It's like so
yeah,
sad right now, dude.
but I start to get worried that like things like Avatar, it's like Avatar. Like I already know that if they make Avatar, um, like if they make Avatar the way that they're supposed to make it and the way they wanted to make it, like it'll, there's just like with Walt Disney World, there was a lot of naysayers when they were building Avatar. People thought it was stupid. They thought it was the dumbest thing, and now it's the number one draw, like for that whole space, and also for Disney World in general. It's like a huge draw for them. So if they did the same at California Adventure, they could do that wow factor and do really well. But if there's any parts of this model that get cut and budget cut and it's not good, we already have a huge group of people that don't want this, and in order to convince the don't want people, it needs to be an incredible attraction, right? And that's what Flight of Passage is, and Navi River Journey. They convince the people that don't like Avatar because the attractions themselves are amazing. And so they're an incredible experience that you can't really experience anywhere else other than there. And so the attraction at California Adventure needs to be that good because there's a lot of people that don't want it. You know what I mean? And if it is, as if they're building it like they originally showed and there's no cuts, it's going to be that good. You know what I mean?
When
But
when do we find out when Monsters Inc. goes down? Take a guess. Just wild.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna go down in like there was a huge part of me that was like they're gonna shut this down in March, but the way they're cutting back on labor and stuff, even if this attraction sits empty and they don't even do anything with it for a while, I want to say they want to close this as soon as possible. So when they
And Daddy's like, close it now.
when they say early 2026, I want to say this is like late January that this is closed, and
I
then
know. I'm starting to think it's January, dude. Like I don't.
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like March, April too, but
Mhm.
the way that they're turbocharging, as you could say, yeah, they rather have it sit there, Danny. Just nothing.
Yeah, I'd rather just let it sit there and wait for whenever the time comes without the labor every day, without the cost of running the attraction.
Or just
Uh,
maintaining it too.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all part of the labor. There's the running of the attraction, but there's also the maintenance crews, the custodial crews that have to clean the attraction. Like there's a lot of cost that goes into running one. So if the attraction's set for closure, I would have been like you and thought, okay, maybe March is when we would see it close. But now I'm thinking, I don't know. It's gonna
Yeah.
be like
I think they're trying to go faster. Like they're really
one
trying to.
thing. One thing that's been good with Disney lately, when they've been closing these attractions like Muppets and all that stuff, is they've let people know like when the final day of operation is going to be, kind of like a little bit earlier. So I'm thinking maybe as we get closer to the Christmas season, if it is going to be January, that's when they'll probably let people know.
That's what I'm saying. They got to start letting people give them time to do it. You know what I mean? Like a month advance notice, 2 months. I want to go. We're gonna keep it in the Disney conversation. An article came out. I went through the article, Danny. I don't know if you have or not, but there was really no meat to the bone here. But it's that a Skyliner could possibly come to Anaheim, and Anaheim is the one that's really propelling this project more than anybody. And they want to connect like the convention, Disneyland, Anaheim convention. Uh, like, what are your thoughts on this Anaheim Skyliner? I want to call it a rumor because honestly, there's no meat to this. But like, there's no budgets, there's no actual plan. I know there's concept art, but this could all be AI for all we know. Uh, what do you think about Skyliner in Anaheim property for Disney? I know it has
Um,
their use, but Disney's like that's the big one for sure.
I mean, this is great. It's incredible, right? Like one of the biggest things right now is the Arctic train station, which is in that picture that you just scrolled away from.
Yeah.
Uh, that dome in the background. That train
Hmm.
station is like one of the best train stations in Southern California. Um, and it's and it's not that far from Disneyland, but it's just far enough that you couldn't even dream of walking, especially if you had luggage. So you're gonna have to take a bus, or you're gonna have to take a taxi or an Uber to Disneyland Resort, or the resort area if you're staying at a hotel that's not a good neighbor hotel or something. So just having like constant transportation that's always going, that people can just connect to, like someone can come from up north, like San Francisco, even have taken a train to LA, switched at LA Union to the OC line, and got off at the Arctic and can take the go all the way and never have to fly, if they wanted to. And especially with like the Olympics coming up, I don't know that this would be done by then, but like
No,
just
they put on here that they're like considering this for Olympic. Right here, look, Danny. Uh, the steal of a deal for mass transit. City planners noted that it was substantially cheaper than 70 million. Blah blah blah.
the bus, honestly,
Where is it?
the bus transportation system would be the worst, because that the we have to think about like how, like, look at D23 for instance. Like look at the people trying to get back from D23 at the Honda Center back to the convention center where their cars were parked, right? Like it
Brutal.
Disney was doing the best that they could in that scenario, or whoever was putting that together, and Disney was like working with them. But like you can only do so much, right? You got like a whole 14,000 or whatever people dumping out, and they're all trying to get on a bus at the same time. Like that you can only, and they're all trying to just take buses, right, back and forward, and there's going to be traffic and stuff. So like you see massive lines at the Disney Skyliner when Epcot closes right after, or not when it closes, but like right after, the I can't even think of the name of the show, right? Luminous. When Luminous is over and everyone's leaving through the International Gateway to get on the Skyliner to go back to Pop Century, Caribbean Beach, or whatever, the line's huge, like it's massive. But if you look at the line and you sit there and watch it, it's never not moving. It's just like people are just walking in a slow line, right? It's always just slowly moving. So like this could change like D23 like crazy. Like D23 would, you wouldn't even have to worry about transportation. You could just get on a Skyliner and go over to the Honda Center. Like how cool is that? Plus the new OC Vibe they're building, which is going up insanely fast, by the way. I can't even believe how fast OC Vibe is going up. Um, this
Where's
could be
that?
a really great option.
I never seen the ground level like that. The picture. It'd be sick. It'd be sick. I'm all for this idea. I've experienced the Skyliner in Florida on the Disney properties. It's incredible and it's fast and it's as efficient as ever. Like you're gonna get to your locations quickly without stopping. Um, I don't know. Like
We wouldn't have to worry
can
about like
Anaheim and these companies like sustain this maintenance forever? You know what I mean? This is kind of crazy, dude. That's like what I would think of because uh, I don't know. We're just talking about like what are these budgets for 20 years of maintenance? My gosh. The other thing they were proposing, Danny, was like working with autonomous cars for
yeah,
transit.
that's another thought. My other thought too was like Waymo or Tesla Robotaxi.
Yeah,
Like honestly, I feel like that's a whole other discussion, right?
yeah,
Like, I mean, I feel like people don't even understand just how insane the switch over to autonomous vehicles is going to be, and it's going to be really fast, and people aren't ready for it. I feel like,
dude.
and it's going to all of a sudden just like, come up on them, and they're going to be everywhere.
People are
So
getting more comfortable using autonomous driving in LA. When I went, I forgot what restaurant I went to, but I was like, damn man, there's like a Waymo car everywhere. I like it's so weird to see people sitting in the back seat of a nobody's in the driver's seat. There's just people in the back seat. So autonomous
Yeah.
drive, it's just crazy. And I know it's getting popular too in Vegas. A lot of people are, because it's just short trips and it's not it's taking the same routes every single time.
Hmm.
Dude, it's crazy. We need this stuff. Uh, Man, so crazy. Uh, Let me get your opinion real quick on this, Danny. I just want to touch back to it since we're on Disney. Uh, this project, they are not messing around, dude. Like, I I don't even know. I'm trying to think. Like,
I didn't
Disney,
even know buildings could go up that fast.
dude. Disney. It's like they're not afraid to spend money on this specific project. They're like, get it done. We don't even care. Just done. Get the structures up. We need to like. I feel like I'm getting the confidence vibes from Disneyland right here. What do you think, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how fast they're going on this project. It's cool to see, like they said that they were going to turbocharge, and they really are. We're gonna see the skyline transform real fast. There's also a lot of technology involved in both of these rides too. So I would imagine the majority of the time is going to take place when they need to start testing these intricate systems on both of these rides. I mean, the Stark Flight Lab, even though it's a pretty basic ride system we've seen before, it's also not basic in the sense that like you're traveling on a conveyor belt and then the robotic arm picks you up like from the conveyor belt, right?
Yeah,
You're not just stuck to the robotic arm like every other thing's been before. Like you're detaching, moving down a conveyor belt, and then attaching to another robotic arm. So there's a lot of testing that these are going to need to do. So they probably want the buildings up so they can start testing this stuff.
and just yeah, the infrastructure of these rides is going to be a lot. These are very complicated rides being added to expansion of uh, Avenger Campus. You know what I had a chance to do today, Danny? That I was like still very impressed. I got to see the wall animatronic again. Uh, I was checking out the big key of Disneyland. I thought there was going to be a lot more hype for that big key, but there's a lot left. Like, it's not selling out. And I'm talking about the $250 key to Disneyland.
Is there a pin in that one, or is it just collectible?
Just a collectible, no pin. They should have done a pin. It would have probably sold out at that point. But
Like an old version or something.
the doors opened when I was in that area, so I was like, I might as well just do the Walt show. Why not? But the wall animatronic, when you really like sit in the front row and you see it, it's impressive. His hands, the facial expressions, and all that. It was really cool. I'm still in awe of the wall animatronic. Um, and then some people reached out to me and they're like, "Do you still need virtual queue?" I'm like, "What? No, no virtual queue." I want to ask you a question on your thoughts. Uh, Oogie Boogie Bash has been happening now for I don't know 2 3 weeks. Um, why does Disney have to do everybody dirty and shut down cars right now? Like, what's up with that? They never done stuff like that. Cars is like a staple of Oogie Boogie. It's the best ride at DCA. What are your thoughts, Danny?
I think it's just like, they closed it in the summer too, don't forget.
I'd rather
So
take the summer than like I go to Oogie Boogie and I can't even ride cars. That's I feel like it's messed up.
I know. I think it just really just depends on when they get the parts they need, and when they can allocate teams to work on it. And there really is no like they're not gonna just like hold off and pick a different time. Like they're just gonna do it when they can schedule it. I think it's just timed out to be this way. They probably don't want to do it later on because it starts to get rainy and you can't really there's not a lot they can do in the rain with that ride. So
I guess. I guess. You know what's crazy too? I didn't realize Thunder Mountain is in refurb right now too. I was talking to these dudes from Texas or in the morning, and they're like, "Yeah, man, we want to do Cars. That was closed, and then we came to Disneyland. We wanted to do Thunder. I can't even do Thunder, and I was just in Walt Disney World, and they don't have Thunder. I'm having withdrawals. I'm having thunder withdrawals. I was like, what? Thunder's down right now? I didn't even clock in my head that was the thing. Did you know thunder was down?
I didn't. No, it wasn't down when I went a couple weeks ago to film my Halloween video.
Yeah, dude, down for refurb. It's so crazy. Uh, Let me see.
Speaking of that, Mondo, let me just hold on here a second. Uh, I think this is worth bringing up because I usually talk about it on the podcast, but let's talk about it now because we don't really talk about it all that often, and it's worth bringing it up because you and I both said we didn't know this, and I think there's a lot of people that probably feel the same way. I just sent it to you right now.
What are we talking about, Danny? What are we talking about? Let's see. I got it. We got a refurbs. Refurb.
Yes. Scroll down. So Disneyland Park. This is everything that's closed or will be closing soon.
Yeah, right there. Look, Big Thunder. It's been closed for 6 days. No date.
Okay,
Wow.
and look, we still have no date for Casey Jr. That's been closed for a while.
Wow. I did. There's a lot of work happening at Casey Jr. It's like all walled up.
Did you see, Mondo, if they fixed the Star Tour sign?
No, I didn't even walk to Tomorrowland today.
Uh,
DCA, it's only two things, I guess: PhilharMagic and Radiator Spring Racers. I remember PhilharMagic, Theme Park IQ put that like some new additions are coming, like permit wise.
yeah.
Damn! Wow, Disneyland had a lot of stuff. I didn't realize Tom Sawyer Island was closed too, and Mark Twain.
Not yet.
Sheesh. Dumbo's gonna go down soon. The Columbia's gonna go down soon. Oh man, that's crazy. We got Wing Nike. The story may have disappeared by now, but I tagged both of you. Universal has a plan at LA Comic Con, and they're discussing HHN and FanFest. John Murdy and Steven Sirix. When is LA Comic Con? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
LA Comic Con. Let me see. LA Comic Con. September 26th. LA. Have you ever been to LA Comic Con, Danny?
No. Unless, is this like just WonderCon? Now they changed the name to Comic Con instead?
I didn't even know this existed, man. That's cool. I didn't know they were going to have a panel in that. I'm curious, what are they going to talk about? Everything's already out. People are experiencing it. I'm more interested in the FanFest conversation.
Yeah, I was just going to say what the next FanFest is going to be.
Are you going to Scary Farm on opening night? Hell yes. Isn't that next week? It's next week. Yeah, next Thursday or Friday.
Week, but the next one.
I think it's on Friday. Wow. Yeah, we'll be there. So we could check out the zoo and Mary.
Thursday the 18th.
Oh, it's the 18th. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll be there. Is the Fallout bag at HHN yet? No, it has not arrived. I check every day. That Fallout bag is super cool. I forgot who posted it. It was somebody from Florida, but it's really nice. XF, hello Danny and Mondo. Bought Prestige Pass for upcoming family trip to Magic Mountain. Haven't been in years. Any tips on how to have the best visit? Prestige. I don't know what that means, Prestige Badge or Prestige Pass. My best tip to have a good time at Six Flags is to eat at In-N-Out. That's literally one light away. That's the best tip. Six Flags is a tough one. I never know when it'll be busy or not busy, but you got to understand Tatsu, the Vipers, Twisted Colossus. These are some extreme rides. So like you just have to go in with the mindset that you're about to do some extreme stuff. X2 is hell of extreme. But if you like that extreme stuff, Six Flags, everything is great. I think the key though is eating at In and Out. Do not eat at Six Flags. That's just my honest opinion. Uh, and I promise you, you will have a good time if you listen to that one advice. Eat at In and Out. Just do it. Uh, I have a question about Disneyland new project. How long will it take to finish the building it? To building it by 2030, right? Or no, 2028, I think. Right, Danny?
Yeah, I think they said by 2028, 29, we should see like most of the things built.
Yep. And we're talking Avatar, Coco, Avenger Campus, and possibly new things will start being announced. Hopefully. Before we get out of this Disneyland conversation, I want to mention this. Let me see if I could bring up this message. Um, have you heard anything about a rumor kind of getting started once again that Beauty and the Beast attraction can come to Disneyland? Like that it's supposedly on the table and that they're really thinking about it. You might ask, where could that go? Well, there's a lot of places it could go. It could go right next to the Matterhorn in that water area on the right side, next to Autopia. You know where I'm talking about, right, Danny?
Hmm.
Do you think Disneyland really wants that? Like they're trying to bring a Beauty and the Beast attraction to Disneyland and not expand a Disneyland forward? Like, damn, Disneyland is like the most compact, efficient theme park ever, dude. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm just shocked that they're thinking that like that could be a thinking thing. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good space for that's a proposed good space for Fantasyland expansion for a while. Because it's kind of like both Fantasyland and Tomorrowland.
And we've
Um,
seen like an Imagineer post a picture of like that one little area over there. It's like a pond looking in Autopia from Matterhorn area.
so the only thing is that like
The
uh,
old cigarette smoking area.
well, like the whole purpose of when Josh D'Amaro was talking about Disneyland Forward and everything was the purpose of it was so that they didn't have to take away things that were beloved by people. And the Autopia is one of those things, right? As much as maybe everyone doesn't like it, it's still a beloved and attraction. It's an opening day attraction. So as much as people might theorize that like they could take the Autopia away or make it really small, and then build on top of it, and getting rid of the submarines too. They would have enough space to build like the Beauty and the Beast attraction and a Be Our Guest restaurant, and they'd make tons of money with that. Uh, but they,
I honestly feel Disneyland should do Be Our Guest Restaurant more than anything because, like, instant, forever moneymaker. Just, it's a restaurant. You get a Beauty and the Beast restaurant at Disneyland. My gosh. Yeah. Even though, like, my heart as a guest, I want the ride. I want the land. I want a Beauty and the Beast land. I want Gaston to have his own. I would love Gaston to have a quick service like they do in Florida. Even though that cinnamon roll is not that good, it's a great photo, but it's not that good. But I want Beauty and the Beast to come. Uh, Honestly, though, like uh, I feel like it'd be cool if we could get a different attraction than whatever Tokyo got. I would like for us to get something different. I like the different. The different is always good. Instead of like we're just gonna do two Galaxy's Edges, put them together. We're gonna do two Mickey and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railways, exactly the same. Uh, Let me see. Let me see. Hey Mondo, what happens when you touch the heart in Clown Cafe Room in Terrifier Maze? A whole lot of nothing. I don't know. That trigger has not worked. I myself have tried to touch it, and I've touched it. Uh, I think John Murdy said that they're going to try to work on that with what I'm assuming it wets you or something. But no, nothing's happening right now. Hopefully Thursday. Hopefully Thursday. Um, Let me see. Uh, can they make a mini ride surrounding the restaurant like Pirates? A mini ride like Pirate. Where would they do that though? A mini ride surrounding the restaurant? Oh, I think she means like in Beauty and the Beast. I wish. I wish. Is Pirates the only ride that does that, Danny? Where it goes through like a dining area?
I think Shanghai Pirates does it too.
Oh, that's so sick. That's even cooler than ours. What's the restaurant called over there that does that? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anybody in the chat know the restaurant in Shanghai that Pirates goes through? Maybe it's Blue Bayou. I just find it hard to believe that they call it Blue Bayou.
And
Uh,
there's one last thing I wanted to talk about before we transition away from Disneyland, real quick.
I want to talk horror nights.
And then we'll go to Horror Nights. But is the topic of Portos, right? There's been a lot of,
When are they gonna start, man? I want my Portos.
it
Portos
was
breakfast.
the topic of Portos, right? We had rumors that Porto or Earl of Sandwich would close in August, and then we had rumors, or no, we had rumors saying it would close in July, and then in August, and now, a lot of the workers there were saying that too, and then it kind of just indefinitely going. And the reality is, and I'm almost like 100% positive this is why this is that the Grand Californian Hotel is really close to that, and also they're going to be ripping up the backstage of DCA right behind Soarin', which is also right next to the Grand Californian Hotel, and also right next to very expensive rooms at the Grand Californian Hotel. One side's downtown Disney, one side's the theme park side. So it's like they're a moneymaker space for them. The Grand Californian is also going through renovation, and if they were on schedule with their renovation, they would have already been done by now. They would have already started the construction on the exterior of the building and also the interior of the rooms, and it would have been done. It was supposed to be done by the kickoff of the 70th, but they were severely behind, and they're starting the construction of that now later on. And the reality is when it comes to revenue in these rooms, Disney's not going to put these rooms out twice. They're going to do it once. And so those rooms that are closest to the Portos construction, they will have to be put out because they cannot have construction that loud and that severe, those that close to those rooms, right? And they're already going to be putting those rooms out anyway because they have to redo them for one, and they also have to paint the exterior of the hotel in that space. So I think Portos is just slave to the fact that the Grand Californian is behind on construction. And so they have to wait until the Grand Californian is ready in that area of the hotel to shut down and be covered in scaffolding and being worked on. And then when we have that timeline, then we'll see that place shut down because then they can start bringing equipment in and they can start tearing stuff out because there's already not going to be guests there. But what Disney doesn't want to do is they don't want to put the hotel rooms out to start working on Portos, and then they're done with the major construction, so they don't have to have everything shut down, put them back on the market again, and then have to take them off the market when they need to work on the rooms for the hotel renovation.
And then just
So
sit there, nothing.
there's, I think, the rumors about Portos backing out and all this stuff were just that they were rumors. I think the reality is it's just the fact that Portos construction was delayed because the hotel construction was delayed, and they're so close, they're so intertwined with each other, and they have to coincide. And Portos just has to wait until they're ready to do that. And so that's what I think that's not being talked about is the real situation. And it makes sense when you think about it because I didn't realize just how extensive the construction was at the Grand. I knew the rooms were being renovated because they told us that, right? But I didn't realize they were doing the whole exterior of the hotel as well too. And it wasn't until right before the 70th when we saw, the side that faced DCA completely be covered in scaffolding, and just
The
their
one by the security.
yeah. And so they didn't get a chance to do that in the rest of the hotel, and all the rest of the hotel is going through that. So, and when they do that, they have to, work with rooms inventory, put those rooms out. They can't sell them.
The
You know,
mess.
it's a huge mess. And so they don't want to do that twice. And so I'm almost positive that's why Porto's construction is delayed. And I think, we can put an end to all the rumors people make about Porto's backing out, because it's not the case.
They need to start. They need to start, man. We've heard about Portos, I feel, for like 20 years now, man. We got 50 from Arlene. Happy Speculation Sunday on a Monday. Hope everyone's has a great week. 5 fires. Thank you, Arlene. Heck yeah. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. The weather's getting a little cooler, a little bit. I'm very happy. Very happy for the upcoming weeks.
We had a cool breeze today.
Yeah, thank gosh. But thank you, Arlene. I hope you have a wonderful week as well. Also, too, we got Andre.
All right, so let's transition now over to Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights. We got a lot to talk about over there. First question I want to start with is something we brought up right before
Team. Thank you for 47 months, Andre.
Yeah, right before team member previews, we talked about this on this show. And Chris Kerr in the chat just asked the same question that we talked about that day, which I asked, which was, Mondo, why are we forced to go through the chicken exit? I thought that was the choice. That's that they made us seem like during Midsummer Scream.
Yeah, so chicken exit, everybody has to walk through it. When you walk through chicken exit, it takes you like backstage. You're technically backstage, and a kill happens. I don't want to go too spoiler yet, but a kill happens, and then you go back to on stage in the house. Like, you go back to the house. You're not backstage anymore. But you get wet. You surprisingly get wet in the chicken exit thing. There is no chicken exit. It's just another room. Yeah, it's just another room. But Terrifier, it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed Terrifier a lot. I could talk about Horror Nights for like hours. Danny hasn't gone to Horror Nights yet. So, and I know a lot of people are putting questions. I'm highlighting them, so we'll get to a lot of these questions as well. Danny, what questions do you have? Seeing Horror Nights from an outside perspective, looking in. What do you think? Like, what questions you got?
So you've been 2 days now. I know that you didn't utilize the early entry benefit, but I know you have a lot of followers and viewers and subscribers that do use it, and they run into you into the parks and they talk to you about it, and you always ask them questions about like, what did you guys do and all that stuff. So what have you been hearing as far as what's available for early entrance? Because everyone in the chat who has an upcoming visit has likely bought early entry, and they probably want to know.
Yeah, well, I had a chance to do early entry yesterday. So I did early entry yesterday. I posted the video if anybody wants to check it out. But early entry really surprised me because I did Five Nights at Freddy's, and since I have an annual pass, I could be in the theme park. So I already have my wristband, and I could just line up. They opened it like at 4:40, and they let people in the maze. They were letting people in the maze at 5. Boom, let people in there. Because early entry is kind of sold as like a 5:30 thing. So, but hey, they changed it. They're just like, we got 2 big ass crowds out here. We got to get these people through. So they've been opening it at 5 Nights at Freddy. What surprised me though, Danny, for early entry, usually you get like 2 things at the lower lot. Scarecrow was closed, but they let you queue up if you wanted to. Wyatt 6, I don't know if they let people queue up for that or not, but Jason, they let people queue up like at 5:40 or 5:35, somewhere in that range. And that one I think didn't open up till 6:15. I'm almost sure Scarecrow probably opened up at 6:15 as well, but it was just Five Nights at Freddy at the lower lot. Terrifier is the early entry at the upper lot, and usually like Monstros or Fallout would also kind of open for early entry just to kind of alleviate crowd. But nah, dude, they're sticking to 6, 6:30, 6:15. It always changes what time they open Monstros or Fallout. But it's just Terrifier. Um, and I have heard Terrifier is just absurd. Early entries selling at a high rate is what I'm trying to say. We've seen the lines hit like 2 hours at early entry for Terrifier. Same thing with Five Nights at Freddy's too, but I feel like Terrifier is being impacted a lot more by early entry. Um, but early entry is worth it, uh, especially if you could be in the park. Because some people get early entry and they start at the main gate. They don't get let in until 5 or whatever. But yeah, no, early entry is worth it's worth every dollar. It allows you to hit one of the bigger mazes right away. And if your heart desires, you could queue up for Jason, or you could run your booty over to Terrifier and do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy how this year's being played out, because a lot of mazes still have big ass wait times even at midnight. So I don't know. I feel like this year people are not going home as much. At least as of opening week, they're not going home right away. Because usually HHN houses get a little calmer at midnight or 1 a.m. I feel like not this year. They're a lot more busier than previous.
We had another person in the chat much earlier, and I can't find it now, but they were talking about the price change on the Freddy Fazbear pizza from
Yeah,
the pizza.
let's talk about that, because that was very interesting. Right here, today's Watch
It
Channel.
sounds like it's not a demand thing. It just so happened to be that you guys were there on the day they decided to change the price. It sounds like it's just $13.99 now.
Which is rough because, well, let me tell the story,
Well,
Danny.
hold on, Mono. Let's rewind it a little before you tell the story. We've been down this road before, don't you remember?
With which one?
With the Stay Puft Marshmallow s'more.
What wasn't it, like 6.75 or some weird thing, and
Yeah,
then
it
it
was
ended up
less than seven.
becoming like $8 or $9.
Yeah, it was like less than $7, and then ended up becoming like nine something or something like that. Uh, Towards the end of the season, they raised the price on it because it was like a viral item. And I mean, I don't know how they wouldn't expect this to be a viral item. It's freaking Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, right? Like, come
Just
on,
a box. People would pay $12 for the box.
dude. People were pulling the box out of the trash. I saw that on. I saw that on. So
What do you think about this ratio cutting right here, Danny? It's the worst cut. That's the worst cut pizza. Like even Chuck E. Cheese does better than that. But the Five Nights at Freddy pizza was sold for $12.99. When I went with my family on Sunday, we bought the pizza. I'll say probably what is it called? We bought it like around 5:30, really early because it was right after early entry. Hector bought his pizza a little later on in the night, and his cost $13.99. So in real time, prices were going up. Um, Danny, how do you feel about variable
yeah,
price on
Lord
food?
Louis the first Mondo that says that pizza is making people sick. Did you hear any of that?
Yeah, I saw Lord Chisith. I believe it though. I haven't. My cousin loved it for whatever reason. He said it was really good. I was not in the mood for pizza, so I didn't try it or anything. Um, but I've talked to other people. They like that pizza. It's. I think it's mid. I've had it before, but um, how do you feel though about variable pricing? And I have to say this. I have to say this. If Disneyland did this move, they would get ripped apart. They would get ripped apart. They do the variable pricing on merch, but it's accepted. But I feel like if they did it on food, people would like it would be like a war, dude. Disney, they're just nickel and diming us to the max. I buy it at 5 o'clock, and then if I buy it at 7, I get ripped off for another $1.50. How do you feel? How do you feel about this?
Well, I would have felt weird about it had we not seen it last year with the Stay Puft Marshmallow S'more thing. The big question is, Mondo, is how much was the Jason Mask S'more thing?
I think that one's like, I'll say $8. I'm just gonna say $8. I don't know the exact price, but it's
Yeah,
like,
so they put the price up, so that one didn't the price didn't go back down on that one. So what I will say is that people who love Five Nights at Freddy's merch, like, and are collecting this box, like, they're smart, because I can tell you right now that this box, Universal is going to run out of those boxes, and they will absolutely not be ordering more of those. They'll just be
yeah,
using regular boxes, and if anything, they'll just slap a sticker on it. You know what I mean? So those
it must
boxes, like,
be it must be
those
a
could be
weird. I was gonna say, Dan, it must be a weird scenario for Universal to be like, so just because we put this logo on these pizza box, people are buying them 1,000% more all of a sudden. It's the same goddamn pizza, but we put this logo and everybody wants it now. That must be a weird thing for Universal. Because I don't think there's an IP where, like, just because they slap the logo on it, it's just instantly better. People want it
so
more. We could raise the price and it's selling out.
so Mondo got the Freddy Fazbear little plushie.
Yeah, I got it, dude. I knew this would sell out, so I had to get it. I had to get it. Um, but what I want to say for the people that are going to be going to Horror Nights anytime soon, um, people are buying these pizzas by like the sixfold. Like they're buying five. They're just sweeping them. Like they can't keep these pizzas just sitting there. People keep just they're getting as many as they can. It was weird. And same thing goes with the cupcake. Even though the cupcake's garbage, people are just grabbing five for whatever reason. The Five Nights at Freddy crowd is coming to Horror Nights. Sometimes Universal does IPs and their fan bases just don't show up. They don't come. They're like, whatever, didn't work out. This Five Nights at Freddy's collab with Horror Nights is working tremendously. When I see the merch,
And I go on record saying I said this a long time ago.
when I see the merch areas of Five Nights at Freddy, people are just grabbing stuff. Just I'm like, it just looks like animals, like all these lions just eating one of the animals on the ground.
Mm.
Everybody's
It's
just,
basically
it's wild how strong sales are for Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and we talked about this for like a year now, or like we talked about this since 2 years ago. We started talking about this when Five Nights at Freddy's showed up, at least the costumes from the movie when they were on display in the DreamWorks theater. We talked about how, if they sold merch, it would just go in nuts at HHN, and it's proving to be the case. I don't know how well it's selling at Florida, but I would imagine it's doing just as good. Um, but missed opportunity, in my opinion, Mondo. They should have sold the full size pizza boxes as a souvenir, and then it should have had like a T-shirt inside of it, folded up.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to give Universal ideas. People would have paid $10 for that pizza box, straight up, just the box. They would have paid $10 because it's ridiculous. The FNAF demand is just wild. I'm seeing it in real time. I don't doubt that like by week 3, like FNAF merch is just gone. Like, there's small sizes if you want. That's all that's left. But it's crazy. It's crazy. We got a super chat from Johnny. I will say $13.99 is the price point of our personal size at my work. So that's a low price for a theme park, and that looks like a 9 inch, and we sell a 9 inch too. I'll go back to what I said about Six Flags. Eat at In and Out. Go take your $14 of Vivo. Go take your $14 to NBC Sports Grill. That's that. I keep saying it. Nobody wants to listen to Mondo when I say these things. That's your best bet. You want to enjoy some good food? In and Out, Vivo, NBC Sports Grill. It's crazy, man.
Uh, but it's crazy. Another thing that's crazy too. There's a couple things I want to talk about. Lord Cheese, by the way, said that Freddy Fazbear pizza boxes are on eBay now, so they're already like $25. So that's pretty good. I'm going to be careful, but this was literally, and it's funny that it's in the chat right now. This was literally what I was going to talk about next. I like movie theaters. Just posted in the chat. Where's the Minecraft maze or Minecraft land? 100%. This could easily
Fan
open the gate for not only it to be a fan fest, but it could be a maze because Minecraft is very scary as a game. Creepers blowing up, zombies, skeletons, all the stuff in the nether, the sound effects they could use. The game is very scary if you play it,
Well, we have
especially.
the Minecraft movie now. They could go that route too. Just saying.
I know, I know. So they could do and the only thing that could sell merch as good as Five Nights at Freddy's is Minecraft, and so that would be equally as selling out as if they did
Dude,
that
Drew,
to.
Minecraft HHN would be lethal.
It would be like a 6 hour wait. Like every kid who never wants to go would want to come and do it. Like just literally nuts. And they could they could get so like John Murdy's team could get so creative with that because the squares, like you'd have so much. They're just endless possibilities. Like so good. It could be
And
so
with
good.
Minecraft, you could go kind of original too with all these things. You don't have to stick to something. It's just whatever idea. Yeah, Minecraft HHN would be just ridiculous. It'd be, dude. Um, with the success that Five Nights at Freddy is having here in Hollywood, obviously we see the success in Orlando, but like I really can't talk about. I don't live out there. Uh, but here in Hollywood, FNAF is selling like crazy. Early entry, the line, it's just always an hour or more. It's never really 10 minutes or something ever. Um, can you just lock in Five Nights at Freddy possibly next year since we have Five Nights at Freddy 2 this year? And I think it comes out like November or December or something. Uh, we have the sequel coming soon. Uh,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Five Nights at Freddy's only gets scarier as the games go on. They get more terrifying. We're going to see a little bit of a look of that in the second movie that's coming out. So, um, and they love their sequels as far as mazes go at HHN. So they could definitely do a second version of it with the scarier versions of the characters. So that's the only thing I will say, just from what I've seen on videos, and I haven't seen it in person yet, I think the fans are just happy to experience the characters in person because we've only ever seen them on video games,
Yeah,
and it's never and the movie, and
nothing
so
physical. Yeah,
yeah, like they didn't really quite catch the jump scare of the game because the game is very scary. So like anyone questioning whether or not it should be at HHN like has never played the game in its original heyday, right? It's a very scary, terrifying game. Like it literally was like one of the games that birthed like reaction gaming, like where people are streaming themselves live playing because it was like everyone wanted to stream themselves live playing Freddy Five Nights at Freddy's
getting
because they would
scared.
like get jump scared and like freak out. It was like that and Slender Man, like the two things that essentially birthed that whole like era of online streaming, like to reactionary gaming. And so like that was like truly the beginning of it all. And so it is a really scary game. So is Minecraft. Anyone saying in the chat, Minecraft not HHN, has probably never played Minecraft, the video game. It's very scary, especially in survival mode. If you are playing by yourself and you have the sound on and the music on and everything, it's a very scary game. I'm shocked that so many kids play it, but so many kids play in creative. They don't play in survival, and survival is like a very scary game if you don't have if you're not equipped or ready in that sense. So it could be it could find a home at both HHN and at FanFest, probably very equally well. But every maze at HHN doesn't have to be scary. Like the Ghostbusters mazes were always more fun than they were scary. So
Yeah.
Killer Clowns wasn't scary. It's more of just like it was cool to be seeing killer clowns in
You're
person.
you're in that world.
Yeah.
I'll say Quiet Place 2. That wasn't scary, but dude, I felt like I was in the movie. It was crazy.
Oh, do they still have Freddy Red Cups?
Yeah, so Freddy Red Cups, uh, I saw some, but those things don't last not 1 minute. That's another variable pricing. They were 18 when I saw them again, like I don't know, Thursday or Wednesday or something. They were $20. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't doubt when they come back, they're $22 for all you know.
And you know what's crazy? When you look up those cups on like Amazon and stuff that have just like plain badging or like whatever, they're actually kind of expensive. So like that price isn't all that crazy for the amount of cups that you get.
We got Rope Drop Nation. Got one. I know Rope Drop was happy the Raiders won. Hey, Geno Smith looking good, but he needs to tighten up, man. Tighten up. And we need Bowers to not be hurt. Hopefully, dropping 20. Early entry and Express Unlimited is the way to go. FNAF 3 times, Terrifier 3 times, all the other mazes once. Terror Tram, Scaramony, Purge, Pumpkin Show, Rides, both Harry Potter, Mummy, Jurassic Food, Jason S'mores, FNAF CC, everything. I did it all. Your feet must be hurting because that's a lot of walking and standing. Yeah, no, Express Unlimited is it's a lot of money, but man, it's worth it. You almost think like I can't go back without doing that again. You know what I mean? It's hard. I love Express Unlimited. We did one of those last year, and it was worth every freaking dollar, man. Hell yeah! I'm glad you're at Horror Nights, Caesar. That's so cool, man. Let me see. Let me see. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Have all these
Yeah,
favorite.
Mark C put in the chat, Mondo. The best thing about Express Unlimited, not having to worry about burning Express too soon. I always dealt with that same thing because I only bought single Express, and I was always like, "Am I using my Express too soon? Like, should I just wait in line right now, or should I use Express?" Like,
I
you
do
don't
have
really
that
know.
feeling. Yeah. I say wait though. You don't want to blast your Express right away. Um,
Anything else, Mondo? Like, what are we? I know you've had a lot of bonfire discussions about HHN. I've caught a couple of them, and seen your video. So like what would you say like of the mazes that people aren't really talking about the most? So like the Wyatt
Scarecrow.
6, the
Scarecrow.
Scare,
People are not talking enough about Scarecrow. It's fire,
like
dude.
Poltergeist, like of those three, like what's your favorite?
Dude, so Poltergeist, Danny, I had a terrible walkthrough at Team Member Preview. It was just nothing happened. It was kind of one of those. But I've had a chance to do it twice, like opening day, and then I did it like a couple days ago. Poltergeist is growing on me a lot. I haven't watched the movie, so all this is weird. We got a clown and skulls and a tree coming through the window. Uh, but Poltergeist has been fun, man. I'm really enjoying it, especially the ending. I enjoy the ending a lot. Uh, the one that I had a feeling people were gonna start like liking a lot was Monstros. Shockingly, Monstros hit hard, and I've been saying it. I've been saying it from the beginning. Monstros, I think it's the best one they've had from the
Dude, that
Monstros.
that maze on the upper lot, what that my favorite part of that maze because they always use the same thing every single time. That maze has an outdoor segment every
Yeah.
single time. And that outdoor segment is like the best part. It's always like the viral clips you see online. It's always from that outdoor segment.
La Llorona. Uh, I would say Wyatt Six is probably not getting talked about a lot. but it's a really great maze. I enjoyed it a lot, a lot. I enjoyed it. I could do it a lot of times. Um, One thing that I walked away from Horror Nights this year after opening day, like I don't really consider team member preview like a day because it's a preview, but what I walked away from on opening day, I've gone to Horror Nights 3 times already, like official. Uh, I walked away with like we don't have a bad maze this year at all. I thought it was going to be Poltergeist, but it's not. Like to be quite frank, I don't think it's bad at all. It's fun. I enjoyed Poltergeist. Um, I feel like Monstros and Scarecrow, they're so similar and kind of almost the same as they were before. But the added music to Scarecrow really adds a lot of flair to it. And Monstros, they took a bunch of cool stuff that all the mazes did, and they just kind of bunched them up together. And we got some like new technology that got thrown in there. It's really nice. I like that they didn't do puppeteer work in Monstros, so this time it's actually like horse people or horse ladies coming at you. But what I walked away from, nothing will be retired anytime soon. Maybe the DreamWorks Theater show. I think that one might get retired pretty fast. But from the
What
mazes,
about, have you done a lot of foods other than the Jason thing?
no, I have not. My cousin got a rat away yesterday, and he said it was really good. One of the drinks from Fallout.
I want to see you do the slash bar.
I did enjoy the Dance of the Dead. That's what it was called, the drink at Slash Bar. I did enjoy that a lot. I would get it again for sure.
Well,
Um,
like do more there is what I was saying. Like do like a
More.
whole video. It's like all the things you can get, or like a couple things, or a few things.
I just don't have an interest of doing all that, like trying out all the foods, all the drinks. I don't know. It doesn't call my name. When I go to Horror Nights, I want to go in the mazes. I'm just like, I just want to hang out at the fire towers. One of my favorite things to do at Horror Nights is go buy a coffee from Starbucks and
Dude, so good.
just chill at the
So
fire towers. That's like my favorite thing to do. I got a coffee and I'm at the fire tower. Like
we,
life's
me,
good.
me, you, and Chris did that one year.
Yeah, dude, life's good. We got a coffee and the fire towers. Damn, what more do you want? Mondo doesn't even need to do other haunts. HHN is going to be his number one regardless. Well, HHN's like number one every year, honestly. um, I love HHN this year. I don't have, like, usually the way the cards play out, there's always like, oh, that one maze, I just don't like it because of this and that. Or even like Terror Tram, I don't like it because of this. I really walked away with like, I like everything. I like everything a lot. Um, I wish the lines weren't so long so I could do more stuff, but it is what it is. We knew it was going to happen. But this year is very strong, a very, very strong year for Horror Nights.
Are
And
they?
I want to say this: the performers this year are really killing it, man. Every maze, every freaking maze, and especially the Terror Trap. Some high energy stuff going on there, and you guys are just doing awesome, man.
I think you
It's
and I
a
were both.
bummer that garbage ass Exorcist Believer had to come back, and I will never stand down on garbage Exorcist Believer. I will always call it garbage. Uh, it's sad that had to come back, but the Insidious section of Terror Tram, I'm just in love with that
The
path.
body and the blood. The body and the blood.
the
Mondo
body, the body, and the get out of here, pa fuera, man, get out of here. There's a lot more Blumhouse than that. But yeah, no, the performers are A+, absolute five fires.
I remember when that maze was there, you kept saying that all night. You were like, the body and the blood, the body.
It's just annoying. It's just annoying. I don't, man, I have a great meme that I cannot share because it's just inappropriate, but just HHN just has to shove Exorcist Believer down our throats. Who knows why? I don't understand. I really don't understand.
I think you and I were both happy the fact that the Blumhouse that we were wrong about the Terra Tram, right? Like we were kind of
Yeah,
like,
I'm happy to be wrong. I'm loving it. And
yeah,
I always say this: I'm not the biggest Blumhouse fan at all, but the actors, they really do a great job, and they're the ones that sell the product more than any. But they're the ones creating the magic. You know what I mean?
I
By
love.
any means, I'm not excited to be like, look at the grabber. I could care less. But these actors, they're really selling the roles big time.
I'm always gonna love the Purge, so that was a cool part of the tram.
Yeah, we got Turner Takedown dropping a super chat. Thank you for supporting the fire, my friend.
He said,
Uh,
"Mondo, I'm curious about RIP tour. I've never done it before, and I want to do it. I just went to HHN 2025 Friday night, but looking to go back at the end of the season for RIP. Would you recommend it? Hell yeah, we'd recommend it,
extremely.
and you better book it now because
God, dude. Let me see. Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. I'm just curious. I don't know what prices are anymore. I haven't looked.
while you're looking up for that, Mondo, Anthony Alvarez says, "Well, Blumhouse lost a lot of money on that film, so they got to put it everywhere because they spent a lot of money on the rights to it."
No, let it die. Get out of here, Exorcist believer. Get out of here, bruh. Nobody wants to live that anymore. R.I.P. Here we go. R.I.P. So R.I.P. Tour is the cream of the crop. Like you're blasting a lot of money, but you're gonna get a great experience. Event sold out. Okay, we don't care about that. Man, they're making me click so many buttons to try to spend a lot of money here. Uh, wow. Am I reading this right? RIPs are sold out in September? God damn. Wow. I did not expect that. Yeah, I can't click these days. They're just gone. Hey, you want to do RIP in September? You better buy that now. Wow. We even got some sold out October days. Okay, here you go. So October, it's more expensive. It always is. Uh, the great part about RIP is that yes, you get a tour, like a tour guide to take you everywhere, but you got to also consider you get valet parking, so your parking's included. You get a buffet at some point in time, so you have dinner included. Uh, you could use the lounge to get drinks and cookies later on in the night from like 11 to 1 or something. Uh, you get free soda, free water for the entirety of pretty much the whole day because you could go to the lounge. You get it during the tour, you get it during the day or during the lounge. Um, and the most important part about RIP is that after your tour's done, you could keep going and do whatever you want at your own pace. RIP has its own line. There was some people saying that Express, which is, wait in line less pass, that the Express for Jason was taking 45 minutes to an hour on Saturday. And we're talking Express. We're not talking about the regular line. We're talking about Express. For whatever reason, Jason seems to be the one that's struggling with Express. But RIP, there's a 3-4 hour line. You walk right in the maze. Just bloop. You walk right to the facade. Because you spent a lot of money, so you're entitled to that when you go. It's extremely worth it. I know it's a lot of money, especially you got like 2, 3, 4 people going. But anybody that's ever done an RIP tour, they're like, that was the best day I've ever had, ever. And you won't regret it. You will not regret it. I can't emphasize that enough. Let me see. Yeah, book it now. I looked on October 18th because I have an RIP tour that day, and only one time slot is left, and it was 8 p.m. Yeah, that's another tip. If you do a RIP, your goal is to get like a 6 p.m. one. The earlier, the better. The later, the later the worse. That's the best way to look at it.
Yeah, we got people in the chat, Mondo, that says RIP went up already. They went up for the person's ticket that they bought that day.
Wow, that's crazy. I believe it. I believe it. RIP is worth it.
Changing prices on food, you know they're going to change price on RIP.
They do every year. RIP always goes up. We got Eddie. If you think this year is great, just wait until next with all the great horror films releasing this remaining year. And next year. It's going to be Five Fires next year. I can't even think of like what I want next year. I have no idea. This year's, it was for the fans, I almost feel. But now that Danny's talked about that Minecraft idea, that's a great idea, dude. It's a really good idea. Do you think the Nobu necklace would have to come, Danny, if they do Minecraft? I hope not. I hope it never comes to Hollywood.
Parents, maybe, I don't know.
Rope Drop Nation, I waited 20 minutes with Express and Terrifier. Hey, I'll take 20 minutes over whatever the hell that regular line was. I'll say that much. Anything else you want to talk about Horror Nights, Danny?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. You guys have talked about it a lot on bonfires and stuff like that. I would just say watch Mondo's video that he just said he put up. What would you say? You just did the
early entry.
Yes. Early entry, yeah. So if you got early entry plan, watch that so you can see what it's like. And then also too, I think we're now we can transition to Scary Farm, right?
Yeah, we could go to Scary Farm. For Horror Nights, I'm gonna try to do this tomorrow. I'm gonna reach out to other people that have been to Horror Nights, and I would like to do like a big bonfire with all these people. We could hear different opinions and talk about all things Horror Nights. I can't wait to do that with Danny. He hasn't been yet, but hopefully Danny could go next or this week. I want him to go this week somehow. But I'm going to try to do a HHN specific live stream tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to reach out to a lot of people. What would be your game plan on Saturday, GA? Well, my first thing would be I'm going to buy early entry. Like that's the honest truth, early entry. But if you cannot do early entry, I recommend you do all the stuff that is short waits. Instead of just pounding 2 hours into something, you could do a Fallout, you could do a Monstros, a Terror Tram, a Scarecrow, a Wyatt 6, a Scaramony. You could do all those things like within a 2 hour time period. And then think about, do I really want to wait 2 hours for Jason or whatever the hell, you know? That's always my recommendation is do all the stuff that has short waits in your beginning hours. So you're in profit. You know what I mean? Whatever you do that has a long wait, it's just profit. You already had a great day. All right. Let's move on to Knott's Scary Farm. Danny, how are you feeling about Knott's Scary Farm, man? They ain't no buzz right now, dude. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I think the buzz is going to start ramping, right? We've got one more week in between, and then it debuts the week after. So there's still a lot of prep going on. We're going to see it start to ramp up. I will say I'm like not as hyped as I am for the Zoo Maze, even though I do really love the fact that it's going to be like, you know, the post 11 p.m. with the flashlights. That's really cool. It's like trick or treat lights out. I'm more excited for the Bloody Mary, you know, whatever they're doing in that aspect. And also to do like Grimoire and all those things in their final year. So I'm excited. There was also a lot of good food too that like I wanted to when we were there. So
you know, I really feel like Not Scary Farm should do another trailer for the zoo, like a more straight to the point. Show us what it is, because that first trailer ain't nobody rewatching that. Ain't nobody. I don't think anybody walked away from that thinking like I can't wait for that thing. I would like another trailer, even if it's just like 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Do a video in the maze with whatever we're actually gonna see. Do another trailer. I would totally do that right now, man. Um, with Scary Farm, they've started a little bit of prep. I know that our Knott's Adventure has been posting a lot of this stuff. That's I feel like that's new. I don't remember that for the Gauntlet. One of my favorite scare zones. They are doing stuff too already in the what's it called? In the stage, they're already setting up for that stunt show thing they do up there. Um, for Not Scary Farm, I did have a chance to go to the Legacy store. They told me that sometimes they close at 6:30, sometimes they close at 7. So if you are trying to go to the Legacy store to buy merch anytime soon, you got to enter it from outside. So like from the marketplace, not from inside Knott's, from outside. I recommend just get there before 6:30 if you are trying to do any merch buying.
Since you were there today and I didn't get a chance to do it, Mondo, could you? And obviously, you weren't able to go through the Knott side of it, but just from being at the registers right there, could you tell that the entrance into Knott's Berry Farm still looked the same? Was it like a spider tunnel, or did they theme it?
Exactly the same. I looked for it too, Danny. It's just spiders. It's the same thing. So I'm
I
guessing
thought maybe last year they. I thought maybe last year they did it because Widow, but like I was maybe this year they might do it different, you know?
that would have been cool
So
if it just became like Bloody Mary themed because it is right there.
yeah,
Bloody Mary
I
is
was
just right
could
there.
have been like a hall of mirrors.
Yeah. Yeah. At this time, like with Scary Farm, it's a little early. Uh you know what? Let me post this. I don't mind posting this right now. So we could since we're talking Scary Farm. I have an update of the facade. The zoo facade update. Knott's Scary Farm. Let me show this.
While you're posting that, Mondo, we have Eddie in the chat. He asks that his son has been asking about the Queen Mary. Are you going to be talking about that in a future bonfire at all?
Uh, you know, the Queen Mary's doing a lot of new stuff. I've seen photos. I've seen photos of what they're doing. Um, I it's hard to talk about whatever they're doing because it's all original and stuff. So it's like really hard to be like, oh, they're gonna do this. But I did get invited to their media day. I probably would go. I'm probably gonna go 2 times, like not just the media day. I'd like to go another different day. But I will be covering Dark Harbor this year. So if you're interested, I'll have a vlog and my full thoughts of whatever that experience is going to be. I'm excited for a year 2 of Queen Mary, like a more budgeted Queen Mary. Um, I can't. I love Queen Mary. I support that haunt big time. All right, let me go to my Twitter. Right here, Danny. This is what the zoo's looking like. This was taken today. There it is. There's like a lion, like a lion mask in the middle right here, or like a lion statue kind of thing. It says zoo right there. That's brand new. Um, yeah, that's what it looks like. I don't know what else they're gonna do to this facade. It's honestly probably done for all we know. But yeah, I just wanted to show that since we're talking about Scary Farm. Um, Mondo, Danny saw your throw. Oh, I already brought that up.
Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, were you for Scary Farm? Um, do you think like the hype's gonna be there this year, or do you think that the HHN hype's just too strong?
um, Scary Farm's gonna have hype. It's for sure gonna have hype. Um, like Scary Farm just kind of has a couple things that going against it from the get go. They do a bag policy. That's kind of an odd thing. You know, I want to say it's like a barrier to entry. Another barrier to entry, chaperone policy. Knott's does that, and Horror Nights they don't do that. And the crazy part, Horror Nights started so early, and Scary Farm is like behind the 8 ball. They're like 2 weeks late to the party. It's kind of weird. I think Scary Farm, they gotta like bump up and start earlier. Um, like I think of it from like a business kind of thing. We can't let HHN just make all this money untouched for 2 weeks. We gotta get involved. Obviously, the research is there that people would like to do horror stuff earlier, open earlier. Scary Farm. I think it'd be a good thing, dude, to open up earlier. It feels so late. I know it's probably not late in the big aspect of like, hey, Halloween's in October, but HHN really ramped up with this like early start, man. It's kind of wild to think about. But I think Scary Farm should really think about it next year of like, hey, HHN starting that time, we got to start earlier. We have to make
Rope
more
Drop
money.
Nation what are recommendations for buffet? I want to do it right since my first time doing Scary Farm. Mondo was talking to the people and brought up a good point. This is the best year to do buffet because
Best year.
buffet you get access to the mazes backstage. And this year, both new mazes are backstage, and also the new one of the new or both of the new mazes, right from the year before, was it or one of them?
Yeah, Widows and Eight Fingers 9.
Yeah, they're all backstage there too. So you've got all the new mazes from last year, all the new mazes from this year backstage, and as the buffet, if you're doing the first sit down time for buffet, you are or the second one, but ideally you want to be the first one. You have so much time. You have like 45 minutes to go back there and crank out some of these mazes. You can get a lot of them done before the regular guests are even allowed in there. You missed the ceremony. Now, some guests choose to skip the early entry and they want to get a better view of the ceremony because the buffet people have a nice access to the ceremony as well, as far as a different vantage point that the regular guests don't get. So you kind of have to choose, like, what do you want to do, ceremony or do you want to do maze early access? So the nice part about those mazes too is every single one of those, for the most part, is indoors, so you don't have to worry about it being too daylight. Like it's going to be black anyway. So
Yeah. Buffet is incredible. It's incredible. The best tip: the earlier your buffet is the better. Just like a RIP tour. Just because you get to eat your food, less crowded in these areas. The
you
monsters
don't have
get to
to.
interact with you, uh, and you get to hit the mazes like right away. Um, Honestly, if you do buffet this year, like your event's done, dog. You already did the coolest of the coolest. Because in reality, all the four new mazes are there in buffet. Uh, but yeah, buffet's great. It's a great thing to do. You want to talk about variable pricing? The early buffet, they made it like $15 more than the later buffet, Danny. That's what Knott's did. Some Six Flag activity there. But yeah, it is what it is. They know that the early buffet is more valuable. Um, uh,
So
somebody somebody tagged me on Twitter. It's Saint Topaz. He was saying that some of the things that could be talked about in the hanging, superheroes invade Calico, like Superman versus Fantastic Four, Marvel rival references, Walt animatronic could be a joke. Bruno Mars bit. I don't know why Bruno Mars. The D Rex from Jurassic World. Coldplay CEO. I think you could lock in that the Coldplay CEO thing will be in the hanging.
for
Like,
sure.
yeah, you could just lock that in. Lady Gaga reference. Abracadabra dance off. I don't know what that is. Mr. Six revealed as an animatronic. That would be funny, actually. FNAF references, Wicked references, and then he said that Pedro Pascal could be the hanging. I don't know. I can't guess who the hell the hanging's going to be this year. I have no idea. But yeah, the hanging's like one of those like you watch it like one time and you're okay. That you just I don't need to watch that again. Uh, Let me see. Do you guys have Disney Rewards credit card? Or are the perks worth it? like Disney points per purchase. I tried to do it, and I just didn't care for that credit card. I stopped. I like canceled it if I can remember. Did you ever get into that, Danny? The Disney rewards?
No,
It's
no, I
just not
never
worth
did
it.
it.
I feel it's not worth it.
I just like the perks better with American Express.
Yeah, like there's other cards that have way better perks than a Disney. Um, all right, I think that's it for today. Danny, any closing thoughts, just in general, all the theme parks, and if
Yeah,
you have any content on the horizon too.
no, no. I think I want to the my closing thoughts on the haunts this year is like it's truly like Mondo was talking about. Like we always compare like at least recent HHNs to 2019 because it was such a good year. I think they really just nailed like the theme of the event being really nostalgic, and then also the merch was just so on point with like the properties that were used that year. And I feel like we're seeing that again, like the with the Five Nights at Freddy's merch and the Fallout stuff. People are like really just loving every Terrifier stuff, you know. So like it's all hitting the same. It's kind of feeling like 2019. Um, so I think they're doing some good stuff. But I'm excited. I'm excited for what this means for the future of FanFest nights because now I'm like looking forward to that.
It's going to be bigger and better than whatever we had last year. That's all I've heard. Um, my closing thoughts. What an incredible time we are in right now. Halloween at Disneyland. We got Horror Nights just firing on all cylinders. Everything hit, nothing missed. Nothing missed this year. It's pretty incredible. Uh, come next week, we finally have Scary Farm getting involved. I think Fright Fest too. There's so many dates to remember these days now, but all these other haunts, everybody's going to start getting involved pretty much by the next 2 weeks. But I'm just excited, man. This is what I live for. I live for this moment. I couldn't believe like being in Horror Nights and ceremonies and just being in the scare zones and all that. Like it's just like just pure happiness. It's John Murdy and his team. Incredible job, incredible job this year. This event, like we already thought it was going to be something big. It's lived to every expectation we've had. Everything we thought it was going to be, it lived up to it, without a doubt. And the fans, this is a lot of fan service that was done at Horror Nights. The fans are hella happy, man. We're all happy, everybody. From the Five Nights at Freddy's all the way to the Terrifiers, we're all happy, man. But man, I can't wait. I can't wait to be back. We'll be back hopefully Thursday, maybe even Friday. I like breaking up all my Horror Nights with the Disneyland day because looking at all this scary shit for so much, I need to look at a Mickey Mouse every now and then. It's just I need to break up all this craziness. So that's why I like going to Disneyland. It's a happy place for me too. All right. Any content or anything on the horizon, Danny, from your end?
Since I didn't get to go to the parks this weekend, not yet, but I will soon. I'm glad I actually didn't go this weekend because I totally forgot it was the marathon for the Halloween marathon, first ever and
Yeah.
last. Now that they're going away, so I hate dealing with marathon traffic. It's like crazy.
Nah, you don't want
So
to be any part of that, dude. Toy Story.
yeah, but I'm
Hell,
gonna try to go this week and have a video out again from this week because there's some things I want to update like that entrance in downtown Disney, and then also talk about a couple other things that we didn't get to talk about today.
yeah. You know when you mentioned like, oh, you want to try some foods at Horror Night? I do not right now, but I do want to try foods at Disneyland. There's like 3 or 4 things that are really calling my name.
I
Uh,
want you to try that thing I had
next,
at Rancho del Zocalo.
yeah. On my next trip. I'll allot for that because I knew I was gonna go get a meal plan and not. So that's why I was like, I'm not trying to eat at Disney and then go get a meal plan. It's too much. But thank you, Danny. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us on this beautiful Monday night. If you haven't already, please subscribe, smash that like button. We are firing it down. Fire! Oh, wait, hold on. Got this like late super chat out of nowhere. Theme park and things with Johnny. Make Art the face of Horror Nights. It was perfect. Yeah, the roaming Art the Clowns are a chef's kiss to Horror Nights. Those dudes are doing awesome. They're doing awesome. Sometimes I just watch them interact with the other people because it's so funny and cool. Now, Art the Clown roaming is Art the Clown being part of Scaramony, being part of the Chainsaw Chase Out, just being everywhere. It's awesome. It's freaking awesome. Who knows if we ever get that again? So enjoy it now while it's here. Enjoy Art the Clown, as terrifying as that is. All right, everybody, we are firing it down the Cali Bay, just as Danny are calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mondo.